Hey, what's up everybody, and we're taking a look at my custom black suit Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure. This was a really cool custom to make, and it was a pretty simple one to make too, and he's really nice to display, and so I'm going to go into how I made this figure, and hopefully let you guys know how to make it yourself, and well, it was a pretty fun figure to make, so let's get into it. So taking a look at the figure itself, so what I basically did is I used a synthetic dye to dye the figure, and then I painted on top of it just to make it all look nice and everything and accurate to the movie. So I'm going to be taking a close look at some of the details that I did and what I changed to the original figure, so that way you get a better understanding of what actually went into creating this type of custom. And it's pretty simple. So taking a look at it here, I used a chrome for the webbing, a very fine tip chrome pen for the webbing, and the symbol on both sides was also changed. And you see some of the chrome work that I did all throughout the figure. Then I put a kind of like silvery grayish tone to match the gray tone in the movie. And I also did chrome for the lenses and did a gunmetal grayish kind of color for the rims of the lenses to match the film. And some parts of the dye didn't take, like some of the hands didn't, but it's whatever. It came out decently good enough, and see the knee there too. But yeah, so I tried to match the color of the movie, because he had kind of like a grayish look to him a little bit there. And yeah, so he's not a bad figure, to be honest. Like, he came out good, at least. But yeah, so let's take a look at what I used. So here's the dye that I used. It's a Dymore synthetic dye, graphite specifically. You can find this at like Walmart, or I don't think it's at Target, but I did find it at Walmart for like $3 or $4. It's pretty cheap for what it is. And so looking at the symbol, I changed the legs to match more of what it looked like in the movie, thanks to, I believe his name is Crafty Gecko. I'll put his channel in the description. But he actually inspired me to do this with the symbols. Now, he used milliput, but I don't have milliput, so instead I used something called green stuff, which I'll show a bit more of here. So this is the green stuff. It's this like yellow compound and this blue compound, and basically what you do is you take the two and you mix them together, and they create this like green putty almost, and it's a really durable, fast hardening type of like molding clay kind of thing. And so that's what I used for the symbols. So you can see that I shaved off the legs a little bit there from the original mold, and then I just molded the legs to be as accurate as possible. And yeah, so it came out pretty well. So let's get an articulation. So articulation on this guy, his head can go up that far, about down that far, and the head can go side to side, and the arms have a butterfly joint, and the arms can go up about that far, and they can go down about that far. They have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, rotation at the wrist with the hinge, and he has a diaphragm joint right there. His ab can crunch forward about that far, can crunch back about that far, and he does have drop down hips, so the hips can drop down, so that way you can get some more range. They can kick forward about that far, and they can go back not so much, but He has a thigh cut. It's a little stiff because of all the paint work and everything. He has a double jointed knee. And he has ankle rocker right there. And if I can go up that far, go back about that far. And so that's it for articulation. So let's get into accessories. So taking a look at his accessories, I gave him, obviously, Twipper hands. The dye didn't take too well to those. They didn't finish all the way, so I may have to paint them. But, so I gave him Twippers. And then he has the unmasked Tobey head sculpt, which looks really nice. And let's take a look at that. So taking a look at the head sculpt, it's probably one of the best Tobey head sculpts I've seen, especially just for like a retail figure. They did like a really good job. Like that looks like Tobey Maguire. That's actually so insane. That shit looks really, really good. Like it just looks like it's not Hot Toys level. I don't think Hasbro's ever gonna get to Hot Toys level, but it is close. It's not too bad. Let's take a look at some size comparisons. Here he is next to the regular classic suit Tobey figure from No Way Home, which I also did customize too. Probably making a video on that soon, but as you can see, they're the same height because they're basically the same figure. Just one's the black suit, one's the classic. But that's how they stack up to each other. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Sandman from No Way Home. In case anyone wanted to see what he looked like next to Sandman, because they did fight in Spider-Man 3. Well, he was wearing the black suit, so that's how they look together. So they'd be really great for posing. And then here he is next to an original Spider-Man 3 Black Spider-Man figure. And this figure is old and definitely needed an update. Unfortunately, they don't have an official Black Spider-Man out, so you have to kind of make this custom. But yeah, that figure is really outdated looking. But that's how he pretty much looks up next to the Black Suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, at least that figure. And then here he's next to an original Toy Biz Spider-Man from the first Spider-Man movie ever. To see how he looks up next to a Toy Biz figure. And obviously the Toy Biz is a little bit more cooler in some ways. But, he doesn't look too bad next to it. Although he's not going to be displayed next to it, for me personally, but that's at least how he looks. So with comparisons out of the way, and after taking an in-depth look of how the custom was made, some final thoughts on it. It was a really fun custom make. It doesn't take that long. I do and would say, if you're going to dye your figure, don't dye it for too long, and don't have the water boiling hot, just simmering. But hot enough to at least dye the figure all the way. But it's pretty simple and easy. Dyeing the figure only takes maybe 20, 30 minutes maybe. And the dye doesn't stain anything, so you won't be getting dye everywhere and staining clothes and all that. But it is pretty nice, and for some of these poses you can get them in here, it's not too bad. And if you did want a Black Spider-Man figure, this is probably the best bet you're gonna get. But unfortunately, I've seen this Tobey figure going for at least a decent little bit of money online now. So it might be hard to get, but if you do find them, pick them up, and I do recommend getting 2 of them, just so you can have one as the normal and one as the Black Spider-Man, unless it's not what you want, you just want the Black Spider-Man, that's completely up to you. But it's a pretty cheap and, well, at least material-wise it's cheap. But it's a pretty cheap and easy custom to make. All it takes is a little bit of concentration. But, yeah, so, that's as much as I can really say about it. The figure itself is okay. It's just your basic kind of Hasbro figure, but the custom itself looks really nice when it comes out all good. And again, big thanks to, I believe his name is Crafty Gecko, for the idea on how to do the symbol. I'll put his channel in the description of the video, so that way you can take a look for yourself. But with that being said, and here is a pose with him against Sandman, which looks really, really good together. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's all I have to really say about this custom. It was fun, easy, highly recommend it. Again, I'll put his channel name in the description of the video, so that way you can check him out. But yeah, that's it. So just enjoy these, this last and final post here, and just make sure to drop a like and subscribe and turn notifications on, and I'll be posting a little bit more here and there, hopefully, when I get the time. I got the time this week, but sometimes I gotta work. But other than that, that's all.